sort of getting around this concept of the business case for reducing latency. So the idea that if you're running a streaming service, you're like, latency must be zero, you're spending, could be a lot of money for really no benefit for some use cases. I think that's really important. When it comes to things like live streaming for sports or for other linear channels, how important is latency? Is it absolutely has to be, you know, as low as possible? Does it have to be ultra low? Does it have to be real time? Can you talk a little bit about your experience in terms of, dealing with customers who may be asking you that same thing?
Yeah, sure. So I think Martin brought up a good point, and as you also were mentioning, it depends on who pays for that. And if you have a live sports channel, then it might be a value that you have the audience in the same time range as a linear TV, but the audience is not paying for that directly. So it's different than if you have a betting channel. So if you do sports betting, then every potential customer is paying money for that, and then you have a must-have requirement for latency because it must not be behind real time too much, because you have real-time bidders on the venue somehow. And that's the same for auctions, live auctions in art or whatever. If you have people sitting in a real venue and doing a live interaction and even having a monetized channel around that, then it's really important. And it just doesn't work without ultra low latency then. So the use case is impossible. So there's a range of maybe a use case where it's nice to have and where it's also a kind of value for the provider and for the whole user experience. But there are use cases where it's really a must-have and a very strong requirement.
No, and that's great. Martin, do you have anything to add right there? Your thoughts on that?
No, I completely agree that it's very much based on the use case.
If there's one thing that I would love for attendees to take out of this, it's what you guys summed up right there, which is there's a cost to reducing latency. And you have to really look at, so what do I pay for this in? Do I have to pay really, should I invest and pay money to reduce this? And am I going to see a business result from that? Or if I don't invest and fix this, is it going to cost me by subscribers going somewhere else, like going to broadcast television? Like, forget, I'm not watching the streaming thing. I'll just wait till I get home. I'm just going to DVR this. I don't want to watch it on my phone. I don't want to watch it on my. It's a terrible experience. That I'm 450 seconds behind live. I don't want to deal with it. So that's really important. I think we focus a lot in our industry on the technical aspects of latency. Can it be reduced? Should it be reduced? But we don't talk enough about the business side of it. Like, what's the impact? What are the benefits I get from it as a business? And what are the costs to me if I don't address it?